It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
With the Diesel and the Jet, this is Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Our game tonight featuring the New York Knicks as they go up against the Rockets in Houston. Looking at Houston, they're 5-1 through 6 games, and no question, they've been one of the NBA's most impressive teams here early in the season. And with some time here to spare, let's talk leadership in the NBA. Kenny, who would you say are the best leaders on the floor in the league?
Wow. Well, obviously, the great Tim Duncan in the San Antonio Spurs with his leadership with Greg Popovich. They're the top of the list. You know, I also like Kevin Durant. You know, Kevin Durant's leadership is probably unparalleled or underrated, I would say, from his position, because he always has his team in position to win.
There's two type of leaders, Ernie, the vocal leader and the one that leads by example. One of my favorite vocal leaders, Chris Paul. Dirk Nowitzki is not very vocal, but he leads by example. LeBron James does both. Very vocal at times, very animated.
Joakim Noah's not bad either now for the Bulls, even though he's not the greatest of those players, but he's a good leader.
Yeah, but LeBron does both.
What kind of a leader were you, Shaq?
I was vocal. I used to get in people's rack, Ernie.
Did you?
Mess around if you want to. Tear the locker room up.
What would you do if you had a guy like Kenny on your team?
I wouldn't do anything for Kenny because Kenny would make me look good because I know for a fact if I kick it out to Kenny, he's going to knock it down.
And you know, I would be the first thing I would say, if we don't get it to Shaq, I'm slapping someone.
Let's get it to Kevin Harlan as they get ready for the opening tip.
You just scared me.
Let's meet the starting lineup for the visiting New York Knicks. At point guard, Langston Galloway. At power forward, Kristaps Porzingis. At the other guard position, Aaron Aflalo. At center, Robin Lopez. At the other forward position, Carmelo Anthony. The head coach of the visiting team is Derek Fisher. The power forward position, 7 feet, number 20, Donatas Motiejunas. At the other forward position, standing 6'8", number 1, Trevor Ariza. At the point, standing 5'11", number 3, Ty Lawson. At the center position, standing 6'11", number 12, Dwight Howard. And starting at guard, number 13, James Harden. Let's hear it for your Houston.
This is 2K Sports, broadcasting from Houston, Texas, as the Rockets take it to the hardwood. The Houston Rockets coming to this one after a win against the Grizzlies in Memphis. And just a 2-point win there. They had to fight tooth and nail for it.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at them.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for the Knicks, Anthony out there with Porzingis. Then there's Robin Lopez. Then there's Aflalo. And it's Galloway in at the 1 spot.
You know, watching Aaron Aflalo, incredible form on his jumper, excellent mid-range shooter who's made himself into one of the league's better three-point shooters, too.
Here's Galloway. Six to shoot. They set the pick. The three from Aflalo. The shot no good. Good D by Ariza. Harden outside. Back to Lawson. That three off the mark. On defense, Houston. Galloway kicks to Anthony. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Anthony's got his first 3 points of the game.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Here's Harden. Hits the target from 18 feet.
You can just see the passion and love with which he plays the game. You see how he prepares, the work ethic, the way he interacts with his teammates. And when he hits the floor, it's all about the game.
And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes played. Galloway, the pass to Carmelo. Kicks to Galloway. Unloads. And there's another one for the Knicks. Rockets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Here's Harden, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. When you think of James Harden, you don't think much about his athleticism. His strength, though, is exceptional for his position.
Yeah, I think that's his greatest attribute. His ball handling's good, but it's his strength. He's able to run through contact.
And the first one at the line is good.
And Harden able to get wherever he wants on the court. I mean, he can muscle you, but he's also got that Euro step and all those moves that just leave you in a dizzy. You know, and Harden, you think about how elusive he is, but at the same time, he's a guy that seeks contact. I mean, he'll entice a defender to try and reach in, and a master salesman when it comes to getting those refs to blow the whistle. And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts. You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Hey, guys, Porzingis was almost a rookie last season, but he opted to pull out of the early entry and wait a year for this past summer's draft. Seems to have worked out for him as far as how his draft stock has changed.
The first one falls. Greg, you're right with Porzingis. It made sense for him to wait 1 more year. Clark has a lot to learn, but still comes over, you know, as a much talked about player, a much better player than had he declared last season.
I agree with you, yet he'll still need time to develop, but all the ingredients are there. He's got a chance to be a really good player.
Yeah, the Latvian had a great shot for his height, and he'll be an interesting stretch 4 in the NBA.
Good call.
Here's Galloway. The Rockets making the shot. Outside Anthony. Dwight Howard pulls it in.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
For the New York Knicks, they come in off a good outing against Oklahoma City.
They just looked stable pretty much from the get-go, guys. I mean, sometimes you'll see some inconsistencies come up in a road game that you don't see at home, but not the case in that one.
Tremendous balance on display, Greg. I mean, when you look at who was carrying the scoring load, making assists, playing unselfishly, I mean, they had it all working, and that led to the nice road win.
And here are the Knicks now. James Harden missing on the 3. Pass to Aflalo. 6 on the shot clock. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
And here we go with Anthony running it up the court. Shot, high post. Good on the jump shot. Anthony's got 7. We've got 1:48 left to play in the first quarter. Well, looking back on last season, you could see the Rockets were tough at home. They just were relentless at going at teams.
Yeah, how about a 30-11 record last year? And a lot of close ones for them, but that home crowd at times could just really will them to victory.
As it did help in the series against the Clippers last year in the playoffs. And the basket by Harden. Harden's got his third bucket of the night.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
And so New York calls timeout. They're first.
Just call him the Beard. James Harden, not just iconic, but also entering the conversation for the best player in the NBA.
So New York going with almost an entire new group. Kevin Durant, he's checked in for Lopez. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Porzingis. Derek Williams checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Calderon in for Langston Galloway. Now here's Seraphin. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Oklahoma City. And speaking of Harden and being the best, he'd certainly tell you so. He referred to himself as the best all-around player in the league. What do you think?
And I think he's right in that category. A lot of people laughed him off when he said that, but he's been a legitimate MVP candidate. His defense has gotten better, and obviously his offensive game is off the charts.
That's his second foul of the first quarter, and they may want to sit him for a while to avoid number 3.
Langston Galloway's checked in for Aaron Aflalo. Screen by Jones. Beverly dishes to Capella. Stolen by Seraphin. And there's the pass to O'Quinn. And that one's good. Here's Beverly. 8 points his last outing. Feeds it to Jones. Back to Beverly. He kicks it to Capella. Houston moving it around. Brewer's shot is off. The Knicks leading by 5. Outside Williams. Seraphin kicks to Calderon. Here's Galloway. Defended by Beverly. Shot by Seraphin. No good. Ariza has the open look. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
He listens to us, you know, he takes our input and our feedback on games and what do we think and how we feel about, you know, certain situations. And, you know, he's a player coach. He's played, so he knows the game.
You know, it's kind of like a honeymoon period, you know. When it's clicking, it's like magic, and you just try to keep it going. But it all comes down to the coach listening, sharing, and taking the players' input seriously. Kevin has that instinct, having been around so many great teams.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from the Knicks so far, what do you guys think?
Just the start they're looking for in this game. Solid offensively through the first.
Very crisp and sharp, not much stagnation at all on offense.
Here are the 5 New York has to start here in the second. They've got Calderon, Kyle O'Quinn out there with Kevin Seraphin. Then it's Williams, and it's Galloway in at the point.
Well, you know, Hall of Famer and 3-time champion Kevin McHale, the Rockets coach, did nothing but find success and win as a player. And, you know, that's been the same song for him as a coach.
Brewer, chance there to take the lead, missing. New York shooting one of the high points for them in this game at 54%. Here's Galloway, guarded by Harden. Calderon in the corner. Will not go. This is off the front iron. And for Coach Kevin McHale, last year was his best. A lot of people thought he could have been easily the coach of the year, leading the Rockets to their 3rd best regular season in franchise history.
And Kevin, with McHale, he's got this team improving every year. His team's win totals have risen as well statistically as I think becoming a better team. Wins aren't always necessarily what determines how good you are.
And And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. Well, Clark, what can you say about the Knicks last season? They had a lot of trouble on their road trips, among other things.
Well, especially on the road. I mean, only managed to get 7 road wins on the season, Kevin.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Howard's checked in for Terrence Jones. Montejunas comes in, and it's Lawson in for James Harden. So New York going with almost an entire new group here. Lopez, he's checked in for Kevin Seraphin. Amundsen comes in for Kyle O'Quinn. Anthony's checked in for Derek Williams. And it's a Flalo in for Langston Galloway. And New York making a change here. Galloway's checked in. Now here's Montejunas. He's covered closely. 5 on the clock. To the inside. And it's Howard finishing it off.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
And here are the Knicks now, following the score by Houston. Anthony, the pass to Lopez.
Rockets foul call. That's his first personal foul. At the line for the Rockets, Robin Lopez taking 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
And Robin Lopez, last season, he missed about 6 weeks with that broken hand, but freak injuries aside, he's been pretty durable over the course of his career. Had played in all 82 games the previous 2 seasons.
Inside, here's Montejunas, and he pounds that one in.
Signature slam right there from the big fella. How many of those have we seen before?
Anthony kicks to Galloway. New York moving the ball around. The 3, no luck. The Rockets go the other way with it. And Robin Lopez signing a new contract this offseason. He had been significantly underpaid for his production over the last 2 seasons.
And Kevin, you knew he was due for a raise. 7-footers who impact the game at both ends the way he does are really valuable.
Passes it to Galloway. Looking for Anthony and gets it there. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. 9 points for Carmelo Anthony. Rockets leading by 3. Lawson kicks to Howard, and the powerful one-handed slam.
I tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
And something not a lot of people talk about, Ty Lawson's defense. He has the lateral quickness, Clark, and strong lower body that gives, you know, point guards fits.
Yeah, he's like a fire hydrant in terms of his build and strength. He's a good ball defender, but he gambles sometimes, so that can cut both ways. He'll get steals, but he'll also put you in tough positions defensively.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Derek Fisher had some words for his team over that last break. He told the team he wanted their offense to run through Carmelo Anthony. Coach reminded his guys that he is the centerpiece of their offense, and he's the one they want with the most freedom to operate. They're not going to wait for halftime. They want those adjustments to have an impact right away. Over to you, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thanks.
In talking about Lawson's defense, he was down in steals last season. But a part of that is because he stopped gambling as much. He's learned where to pick his spots.
Getting back to Ty Lawson, he's under 6 feet without shoes, relatively short wingspan as well, yet he's always had to deal with size limitations on defense. But he uses phenomenal anticipation and speed to win more than his share of battles at that end of the floor.
Both free throws good from Anthony. Carmelo Anthony, the 3rd pick overall in the 2003 NBA draft, was in some pretty good company at the top of that one, as I recall.
I mean, you had LeBron going 1, and of course, Darko Milicic was number 2 on that list. But how about D-Wade at 4? A little bit of a surprise, Chris Bosh. You know, all those guys, with the exception of Melo, have rings.
Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Rockets.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
Here is Amundsen. Ty Lawson making his last shot. For three. Galloway, no good. Rockets leading by 7. James Harden again. Harden's got 6 here in this quarter.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
A shot by Anthony, nobody around. And the Knicks miss again.
And back to Melo's top 5 draft mates in 2003 all having rings. You can't choose the team you play for as a rookie. Melo simply hasn't been surrounded by that much talent. That's why it was somewhat surprising that he re-signed with the rebuilding Knicks team last season.
Catching up on the changes for New York, Kevin Serafin, he's checked in for Amundsen. Williams comes in for Porzingis, and it's a Flalo in for Langston Galloway. Harden's shot is good.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
And guys, talking about Melo, I mean, he's faced some difficult injuries here of late. That puts all the more pressure on him to win a ring as soon as possible. No way does he want to retire without that chance.
Harden doing it all. He's got 16 points, and he's come away with 2 steals as well. He's blowing up some plays out there.
And it also shows you the importance of intelligence as a defender because he has been a nightmare on the ball.
Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for New York. And both free throws good for James Harden. Knicks trail by 13. Calderon kicks to Aflalo. Outside Williams. Lawson's against Calderon. They need this. Here's O'Quinn. And Capella sends it back. Houston's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Harden, no good. Excellent D there from Aflalo. New York's gone 0 of 2 from deep here in the second. Calderon dishes to Aflalo. And the Knicks miss again.
Really tough for this group right now, trying anything to stop the run.
And no matter what they've tried, it hasn't worked. I think they've just got to slow it down, idle it back, and get back to the basics.
Well, James, an impressive first half for you. What allowed you to come out so strong?
Just trying to be aggressive, trying to get out early and give a little spark to my teammates. And they followed along. So, it's just a matter of us not turning the ball over and getting stops.
You're not a bad guy to follow, James. Thank you so much. Over to you guys.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. James Harden was the man in the first. He had 18 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Rockets? And Kenny, your take on New York.
Well, right now, they're getting a little embarrassed on the defensive end. They got outshot in the first half. But that's because no one put their foot down on defense to stop it. So in the second half, they need to play much more disruptive defensively. They have to do whatever it takes.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
Get to the teeth of the defense, put them on the heels, and you're either going to score or get to the line.
And mostly he's been getting to the line, guys. I mean, he has the free throw total to show for it, as well as the bumps and bruises.
Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Modiunas and Howard the post pair. And it's Lawson in at the point guard position. That's the 5 for Houston right now.
Punches it down.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
I tell you what, they are not backing off at all, are they? And guys, Dwight Howard's an interesting guy, one of the most physically imposing players in our league, and yet he's known for his lighthearted, almost playful nature.
Rockets leading by 13. Harden outside. Howard, the pass to Harden. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Knicks trail by 15. Afflalo outside. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. The feed to Galloway. Porzingis passes to Afflalo. It's tipped and stolen by Ariza. And it's the Rockets on the break, the finish, and the jam by Harden.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Clark, last season we saw Motiejunas make some nice strides.
Yeah, a big uptick in his scoring efficiency, Kevin. Both his shooting from beyond the arc and from within the arc increased.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Derek Fisher had some words for his team over that last break. He told the team he wanted their offense to run through Carmelo Anthony. Coach asked him directly to take the reins of their offense. He wants him to have a huge impact at that end of the floor for the rest of this game. Clearly, some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks, Doris. Kept alive. Lopez with the bucket.
And that putback about as easy a bucket as you're going to get.
Exactly what happens when you don't box out, Greg.
Now, here's Lawson. They know he's going to give him a lift with his scoring. He's averaging 16 points a game. Motiejunas' shot is good.
And Motiejunas actually showing a newfound post repertoire there. I mean, he's deceptive. He has hooks and pump fakes, little up and unders. The Rockets looked to him for offense when they weren't playing through Harden.
Here's Ariza. 17-point lead, their biggest. And he gets it to go. Motiejunas has got 10 points in the game.
We're seeing the shots start to fall for them now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this has been an extremely efficient second half for them up to this point.
To the paint, here's Galloway. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
And Motiejunas is a very confident player. I think where he can still improve is his rebounding and defensive impact. With a 7-foot frame, he's got to learn to play like a 7-footer.
And the Knicks making a change here. Amundsen's checked in, and he makes both free throws.
Boy, last year the Rockets dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the front court and post players were hit the hardest. I think almost every Rocket big would end up missing some time.
Now here's Lawson. Pass to Howard. Lawson outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Motiejunas kicks to Lawson. Almost, but it rolls out. And last season, GA, as you were talking about, the injuries for the Rockets did pile up. Dwight Howard was out. Terrence Jones was out. They missed those guys for multiple games.
Yeah, and that hurt them inside. But also, remember, Beverly goes down right before the playoffs. So in all, the Rockets had 180 missed games on their roster due to injury. Amazing they stayed so resilient and were able to capture that 2 seed.
Afflalo dishes to Galloway. He feeds it to Anthony. Here is Amundsen. Ariza covering. Kicks it to Afflalo. 13 feet away. Motiejunas grabs the miss.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
Here's Galloway. He has 6. He dishes it to Amundsen. Afflalo against Ariza. And it's sent back by Howard.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Stolen away. 3 on 3. Here's Anthony. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch in how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. Now a timeout called by Houston.
Yeah, it looks like he saw some things out there that need to be adjusted, and he's going to take a break here and talk it over.
Hey, you know, coaches sometimes need a break in the action to rethink and retool a bit. Anytime you're in that situation, it makes sense to use the timeout.
The Knicks making a switch here. Kevin Durant, he's checked in for Lopez. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Louis Amundsen. Williams, he's checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Calderon in for Langston Galloway.
And guys, Patrick Beverley, a perfect fit for the Rockets alongside James Harden. Now, you know, Beverley is in that complementary role as a 3 and D guy. And remember, also, even though he's the point guard, he doesn't need the ball to be effective. He's good at just spotting up for threes, and he's a hounding on-ball defender.
Afflalo, and Capella sends it back. And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession. James Harden, he's checked in for Trevor Ariza. Here's Calderon. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Afflalo outside. Afflalo with another miss. And Beverley plucked out of Europe by the Rockets. Clark, he signed a new contract this past offseason.
And a nice value for the Rockets, Kevin. I mean, he's a player whose impact on the game really transcends the stat sheet. That's often the case for those guys that are all defense caliber players.
Calderon passes to Afflalo. Williams kicks to Calderon. To the middle. Here's Afflalo. Shot is no good. Good work defensively by Harden.
I think he's got to regroup and get himself together here. I mean, something's gone wrong with him this quarter. He's really fallen off.
So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Wow, he got whacked on that, which shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact, straightforward call, simple.
For Houston, they have looked good at the line. They're perfect in 4 attempts.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor, something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
You know, their percentages dropped off just a little bit compared to last year, guys, but it's not a huge drop-off, so no major concern.
Langston Galloway's checked in for Jose Calderon. Here's Galloway, defended by Beverley. Afflalo goes in. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Afflalo's got his second bucket tonight. And here's Harden for 3. Got it off in time, but it's no good. Knicks trail by 18, and on the floor for New York here in the 4th. Kevin Durant is out there with Porzingis. Then it's Anthony. Then there's Afflalo, and it's Galloway in at the 1. The dish to Afflalo. Inside, tries again. They grab their own miss. Anthony with the bucket.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
Harden dishes to Ariza. That's tipped. Here's Galloway. Pass to Carmelo. On the wing of Afflalo. No one near him. And that one's good.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
Galloway, the pass to Anthony. Dishes it to Afflalo. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. And that's now 9 points for Aaron Afflalo.
And he's shaking off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second. Well, close to picking that one off.
Still a nice play to make sure that pass didn't reach its target.
Lopez, he's checked in for New York. Rockets leading by 11. It's Harden with the drive. Harden draws the double. Outside for Lawson. Puts up the baby hook. And it's Howard finishing it off.
Flush that thing down, young fella.
That is a fierce two-hander.
Maximum force on that dunk.
$32 million deal with the Rockets. Big free agent get for the team.
And, you know, they wanted to re-sign Chandler Parsons, Kevin, but with his departure, in comes Ariza, and Trevor is a quality replacement. I mean, a terrific wing defender, and he's a nice spot-up shooter as well.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Derek Fisher was giving to his team. He is not pleased with the score and implored them to try to make a push right now, saying, "We don't have time, fellas. If we can't make a dent soon, I'll have to pull the plug." Pretty blunt, Kevin. Back to you.
And, you know, you compare their games. Ariza a bit more limited maybe offensively than Parsons, a few years older, but he's also a better defender and also better at playing without the basketball. Remember, you got 5 guys out there, only 1 ball. Sometimes your chemistry can improve when a guy doesn't need the basketball to be effective. And boy, you can see his struggles from the field, and I think it's really starting to get to it.
And it's Aflalo penetrating. Shot's good. Aflalo's got 9 points now in just the second half.
That is a pretty finish. The defense did all they could there, but he just outwilled them.
In the league, I mean, they really complement each other well.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. It's Harden with the drive. Howard kicks to Harden. Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. And Howard with the stuff.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now, they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
Here's Aflalo following the basket by Dwight Howard. And the rejection by Harden.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've got to put forth more effort.
Anthony drives in, and the rebound goes to the Rockets. Howard's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Harden, no good. Knicks trail by 13. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Anthony. Here's Lopez, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
How about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
Harden against Aflalo. Howard dishes to Ariza. Pocket 6. Harden the pass to Ariza. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. And for Trevor Ariza, almost exclusively a perimeter player on the offense last year. New scheme, Greg, new teammates, big adjustment.
Yeah, the Rockets having Dwight Howard camping out in the lane and James Harden needing space for dribble drives. Not much room to operate inside for Ariza.
But they do like his defense, and we know he can hit the 3. It's a pretty valuable commodity for him. And the Rockets making a change here. Brewers checked in. A minute 50 left in the 4th. Outside Anthony. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the way up. Anthony's got 19 points.
You know, you talk about Trevor Ariza last season. I mean, his field goal percentage dipped to 40. Mostly because he only took 3s, or so it appeared. It's hard to be efficient if you're only shooting 3s.
1:37 left in the fourth quarter. Knicks trail by 11. Galloway kicks to Anthony. And the lead is down inside single digits. Anthony's got 10 points in just the second half.
And guys, when you think about Trevor Ariza, he was signed by Houston last year to play defense. And did he deliver on that end? He was usually matched up against the opponent's best wing scorer, and he had the highest steals average of his career, almost 2 a game. Add to that, he is a knockdown shooter from beyond the arc.
New York calls timeout. They're behind by 9. 1:22 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Galloway. Lawson defending. Galloway kicks to Anthony. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. Galloway has got his 6th assist on the night.
That was a nice finish to an excellent possession.
Lawson dishes to Howard. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Boy, that's a nice feed by Lawson.
Knicks trail by 9. It's Anthony with the drive.
Melo having a terrific game. He has 23 points and the 1 steal. I tell you what, he's made his mark on this game in so many ways, guys.
And he would have stood out just on the strength of the defense. But how about offensively? He's been clicking there as well.
And the second of 2 is good. That brings them within 8.
Not nearly as productive a trip to the line as he'd have liked. They need all their free throws to go down at this point.
And it's Howard finishing it off.
And now as the clock ticks down, this is going to end up as a solid victory here for the Rockets.
At every opportunity, they managed to push the ball and keep the up-tempo game going.
And that produced great fruit for them in transition.
And this will be a big win for them. Lucky win number 13 now in the bag.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
It sure is. It's just a 2-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Howard. He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds. And since halftime, he has just been ice cold. Just can't seem to get anything to go his way.
Here's Anthony. No good. In and out, off the rim. Clark, if they want to, they can milk the clock just a little bit here.
Amen. I think that's the best option.
Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
Yeah, you know, he's not making any kind of impact for them at that end of the court right now.
Galloway with the bucket. There's 10 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Harden outside. So we see the Rockets get the win here. Some good moments throughout this one, but they have the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, and I thought good execution really played a big part throughout.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, I'm here with James Harden. Congratulations on this win. It was a team effort, aided by this electric home crowd atmosphere. What made the difference?
We just trying to play solid defense. Talk to each other, help each other out. That was amazing tonight. You know, it was unbelievable. Like I said, I'm happy for our guys. And, you know, we got a good victory at home.
Communication's so key. James, thanks for the time. Guys, over to you.
Doris, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now it's time to head back to the studio with Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Dwight Howard.
Well, when Dwight uses his physical presence and athleticism to the max, he's nearly impossible to stop. He's got the body of a center, but the hops of a swing man. Just got to put it all together now.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.
Wow.